So we're going to be looking at two Switch 2 cases, the Go Travel case by Next and the Game Traveler Deluxe case by RDS Industries. The Next case retails for $20.99 and the RDS Industries one retails for $19.99. It also has a 2-year limited warranty and is officially licensed by Nintendo, while the Next case comes with a 1-year limited warranty and is not licensed by Nintendo. So we can see these are very similar cases. Both of them are compatible with Switch 2, Switch, and Switch OLED. But they do have their differences, so let's get them out of the cardboard and take a look. Alright, so they're pretty close in size. The RDS case is a little bit wider and the Next case is a little bit taller. And both of them have some give if you push in on the top and also on the bottom, but the Next case is more lightweight. It definitely has more give on the bottom than the RDS case does. But just about every type of case like this is going to have some degree of give, so I'm not saying it's like some giant flaw. I'm just doing my best to describe exactly what they feel like. Unless you buy like a Pelican case or some kind of fully plastic case, they are going to be able to squish in a little bit like this. But yeah, this one feels like just really nice and rugged, really strong, especially on the bottom. The bottom of this one is really strong and sturdy. And the zipper is great too. It feels really nice and smooth when opening it and closing it. And the zipper on the Next case doesn't feel as good as the one on the RDS case, but it's still functional, it works. It just doesn't feel as high of a quality as the RDS one. Now here's both of them opened up. So the Next case has a zipper pouch in the lid and the RDS case is just empty in the lid. So with the Next case you can fit some cables in there, some games or whatever. And I also like that it has this little cover for the zipper, because even though the zipper has a little rubber cover on it, I don't want it to be dangling around hitting my Joy-Cons in the case. So yeah, I'm glad it has that little cover there, and yeah, inside of here it comes with the foam insert so you could fit the Switch or the Switch OLED in there. Then down here it has a little Velcro strap and space to fit 10 games. Then at the very bottom of the case we can see these two indentations for the Joy-Cons. And the rest of it is just flat, but if you push down on it you can feel there's some empty space in there. Like if you push hard enough while gripping it like this, you can feel it hit the bottom of the case. And maybe the decision to make it that way was intentional. Like if you put a lot of pressure on the case, maybe that would act as a cushion to kind of transfer some of the pressure down, but I really don't know if that was the intention of it being like this. And it does feel like not the highest quality. Now moving on to the RDS case, this one also comes with a little Velcro strap and a flap to hold the games. But the flap on this one actually folds out and you can hold 12 games in there. It also comes with these micro SD card holders, so you could fit 2 SD cards in each little case. So you could either have 10 games in there and these 2 SD card holders, or you could take those out and fit 12 games in there. And it also has another feature here. You can take this little Velcro up like that and then fold it back like this and then Velcro it at whatever angle you want it at to be used as a stand for your Switch. Then down here we have the foam insert, so if you wanted to use this case for a Switch or a Switch OLED. And there's a lot of recessed portions at the bottom of this case. You can see the 2 in the top corners are for the shoulders of the Joy-Cons to rest in. Then these 2 gaps here are for the Joy-Con straps from the Switch, Switch OLED, or Switch 2. Then in the middle it has space for a game card case. Now let's see how a Switch fits into both of these cases, then we'll do the same thing for the Switch 2. So for the Switch you're going to want to put these foam inserts in here. And you can take this little paper off if you want to reveal the adhesive to stick it there, but I think it stays good enough like this, and I want to leave the option to put a Switch or a Switch 2 in there, so I'm not going to be sticking mine on. And before we get the Switch in, I would make sure to hold this little Velcro piece up, otherwise it'll get stuck underneath it. So I'm just going to hold it up like that as I put the Switch down into there. Then we'll fold over the flap and Velcro it on. So this is a great case even for a Switch 1. It fits really snugly in there, so I feel like it's just going to be really safe inside of this case. And now let's see how it fits in the Next case. So for this case we have 3 little inserts. They're just going to Velcro right onto the bottom of the case. So 1 on each side like this, and then 1 up here at the top. Now let's get the Switch and see how it fits. Alright, that's pretty good. Feels like it's really snugly in there also. Let's fold it over, Velcro it on, and yeah, that works great too. Though this one is right against the bottom, on the RDS case the Switch is positioned in the middle, so there's a little bit more protection from every single side in that case, but this one works good too. Now let's move back to the RDS case and see how the Switch 2 fits in there. So alright, we got it in there. Let's fold this over, Velcro it on. And just like with the Mario Kart case, there is some little gaps on the sides. Actually all around it, but it's not really going to move up and down. It will move side to side though, which some people won't care about, but for me personally, I think that's a little bit too much empty space in there. Though it does make it easy to just grab it and take it out, but I would have preferred it to fit a little bit more snugly than it does. And I also would have liked if they would have used this soft material on the bottom also. I'm not sure what material this is here, but I just feel like I would rather have my Switch sliding around on this material rather than this one. But it's not like I've seen any proof that this material will scratch the back of a Switch 2, so that's just my own personal concern. Now let's see how it fits in the next case. Alright, so it looks to fit pretty perfectly in here. Like, there is a very small amount of room for it to move back and forth, but I think that's completely fine. I don't want it to be like squished like super tight, you know, so that little bit of movement is completely fine. I think that's normal. That's how I'd prefer it to be, is just how it fits in here. So yeah, you don't have enough space in here. Even if you get it all the way to one side, there's not enough space to stick your finger in the side and pull it out. But there is actually space on the top, so it's not like it's hard to get out. On the top, I can fit my pinky in there and get the Switch 2 out. So it's a great fit, and I also like that they use a soft material on the bottom here. But something I don't like about this case is the Velcro strap. It's just a bad design choice. They have it going over the game card holder, and the Velcro doesn't stick to that material, so it's only really connecting at a little small point right here, you can see. And I did flip the case over with the Switch inside of it to see if it would hold up, and it didn't fall out, but still, I think it's just a really bad design choice that they did it like this. The Velcro on the RDS case is a lot stronger. It has a little patch to hook onto. So the only things I like better about the next case is the soft material at the bottom and the fit of the Switch 2. Other than that, I like everything about the RDS case better. And I'm going to be looking at the deep version of this case in the next video.